Hi and welcome to the Financial Fox, another crypto-focused episode, and we will be talking mainly about crypto gaming. Our guest today is Bill Louden, Non-Executive Director at Online Blockchain PLC, which recently announced an investment in a US-based crypto gaming. Let's talk to Bill now.
I am fine, thank you.
Great. So I wanted to pick up on OBC latest announcement about its investment in the crypto gaming company. It will be quite useful for our investor to understand how big is the gaming industry in the US and also its related revenues. If you can maybe expand on that, that would be great.
Sure. Well, the gaming area is one area that we've looked at since the very beginning at getting involved with blockchain and cryptocurrency. First, primarily because the gamers, or most of these multiplayer gamers, are already used to a virtual currency in the game. So they understand the concept of a virtual currency perhaps better than most any other applications out there. We see an opportunity with encrypted gaming of getting involved with some of their existing technology and using that to leverage as we start building it out and start building more appropriate games. Encrypted uses a technology called Steam, which is very popular with many independent game developers in the U.S. and in Europe. So we see that as a great partnership for us going forward. The game market is different estimates, but between $100 billion and $137 billion industry. Yeah. The game industry itself is bigger than Hollywood. A lot of money is spent on gaming today. So we see that as a potential large market to look at how we could leverage that with cryptocurrency.
Wow, that's pretty impressive numbers, but maybe can you explain in simple terms how OBC integrate blockchain technology into gaming? Maybe give us some examples.
Well, a few things. The kind of currency used in game is usually, different games have different uses for it, but generally as you gain experience in a game, level up, you gain coins or currency to use to buy more stuff, the concept of buying virtual goods, etc. So every game tends to have its own mini market, if you will, for currency. So we think applying a blockchain, which is very secure and will prevent gamers from hacking the system, if you will, and then using their in-game currency as part of a cryptocurrency will allow us to I'm trying to think of how you'd say it. Will allow us how you can, make that gaming experience more secure for what their users are doing. The currency they're going to get, they're going to know that it's legitimate and it can't be hacked by somebody else coming in and trying to do something more nefarious.
Yeah, but so why did you choose encrypted gaming, instead of other companies for this collaboration and this investment?
There's a game where you could actually breed kittens, if you will, virtually, and then sell off your kittens.
The crypto kitties,
Yes, crypto kitties today. So there are people experimenting with it, but it looks like most of the games today are not really built from the ground up with cryptocurrency in mind. It seems to be plugged in. So we want to make sure we're building a game properly using cryptocurrency going forward. I think there is companies out there that have sort of proven that there's an interest. It's still a blank whiteboard in terms of new ideas and creativity making it happen, and we want to be at the forefront of that.
What do you think will be the revenues that you are expecting coming back to OBC in the first year?
I can't really speak on what revenue we might see from that. It's still pretty early to do that. I think we're still in a development phase more than a revenue phase. Okay.
So I also see that you have launched a US website for OBC. Is that because you will be expanding more in the US and also because the internet is picking up there?
Well, that might be premature. I think there is a big market in the U.S., and if not worldwide, and I think online blockchain wants to be in it. We already have offices in Florida and as well as other parts of the world. I created that site primarily as a placeholder And so if people are looking for online blockchain, they can, instead of putting in onlineblockchain.io, they might look at onlineblockchain.us as a more familiar site. For the most part, it just links back to our main site.
Okay.
Today.
Okay, so
candidly, I tried to go out and buy a website called onlineblockchain.com, and it was already taken. So I was looking for another substitute that was better.
So let's come back to the project that OBC is currently working on. So we have 5 crypto coins.
Right.
Maybe you can explain a little bit more how those coins are going to generate revenues for OBC.
Well, okay, great. Well, of the coins we have today, 4 of those are coins for specific countries. And we have targeted countries that are what we call the unbanked communities. Countries like Brazil and the Philippines, Argentina, where for the most part, 50% or greater of the population do not have checking accounts, do not have bank accounts, have no relationship with a bank whatsoever. So the concept of using credit cards or anything else is just foreign to them. So we think our coins in the hands of the people will allow them to exchange the currency, our crypto coin currency, for goods and services, as opposed to going through a bank or a banking system. It's still embryonic. You know, we built the coins and now we're marketing them to the community. So it's just one area we see as a niche to play in that we do not see any other that we know of cryptocurrency company going after. So we see that as sort of a big blue ocean of opportunity.
Yeah, and I remember speaking to Clem and, understand one of his key points is about to act locally in order to go globally. So if you can solve, a local problem like the financial inclusion in a country like Brazil, and that it works, then obviously the opportunity for the coin to go mainstream is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think Clem is right with that. One of the challenges of, a lot of purists might start thinking of blockchain and cryptocurrency as creating one coin for the rest of the world. And I think that's just wrought with problems and challenges. People in countries want to have their own affinity with their own coin. And we think that actually makes better sense right now. So focus on the local areas by perhaps country where it makes better sense.
Okay, Bill, last question to wrap up. I would like to ask you, how do you feel about the future of blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and specifically the role of the OBC going forward?
I liken, we can't predict the future, but I liken what's happening today in blockchain and cryptocurrency to what we saw happening in 1977 with the birth of the personal computer. It was a wide open space. Dozens of companies were making computers back then, and everyone at the time said, oh, no, it's not going to last. PCs are going to go away. This is before the IBM PC. There were companies that making computers that were game companies like Mattel. So we see that as a great opportunity. So we're in it for the long term. We know there's going to be a shakeout, and we just see the market as being potentially very large going forward. I remember the early days of the internet, for example, and building online services in the 1980s, where people said, why would I want to go online or use chat or Skype, let's say, if I can just pick up the telephone and call somebody? So there were certainly a lot of people that had doubt and going forward, but we still see a huge opportunity going forward, as we saw back in the birth of the internet.
Well, you are an internet pioneer, so I'm sure you know very well this space, and see you so enthusiastic is really great, and I'm sure that is very, very encouraging also for online blockchain shareholders. So, Bill, thank you very much for your time, and I hope to talk to you very soon.
Well, thank you so much for calling. Talk to you soon.
Thanks. This is everything from the Financial Fox. Make sure that you follow us on YouTube and social media, and see you next time.